everyone. Welcome to Yoga for Back Pain. So I'm Julien from the Yoga Essence Institute, always trying to bring you a most authentic yoga, universal and mindful, in association with friends of Rambam. So this is a great little community. Importance of community is that you get a little bit, or you make yourself accountable so that you keep coming back on your sacred space for a little checking practice. Ideally, this is more than once a week, but this is what we do for now. Once a week, at least meeting with us. So if you have any back pain issues, you learn things, asanas, postures, little stretch, things to do, pranayams to really help with chronic back issues. So let's come in a comfortable sit. If you haven't already, if you're cross-legged, I suggest probably Vajrasana is really good to make the legs, knees, ankles supple, as always mentioned. So very good to really stretch those quads. It energizes the knees, ankles, lower chakras, very important. So sometimes, especially if you have tight hips, back issues, or maybe guys, tight hips when you sit cross-legged, your knees are high up and you slouch, so it doesn't really help. This pose really helps to keep the spine straight. And you can close your eyes for a moment. Palms can be turned upwards, relaxed onto your lap, gaze slightly forward. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is probably the most important nerve. I mean, it's all quite important, but the vagus nerve is the longest nerve in the body. It links the brain and major organs. It's in two parts. It runs on the left and on the right, and it goes through the neck, and again through the major organs all the way down to the colon. So there's a big link with any digestive issues, a lot to do with autoimmune disease, and it's also very linked to pancreas, liver, so diabetes. There's a lot of these things that often we attribute to nutrition. Sometimes it might just be because of a low vagal tone. So again, this is a big nerve, mostly separated in two parts, but then there's also, obviously, just like the nerves, lots of branches going out to all these different organs. And also it's very linked to the heart. So it's got a lot to do with the heart rate variability, and as such it's also linked to the breath. And most important, so this is probably the most relevant part in regards to yoga for back pain, or back pain, is that since it's linked to the breath and the heart rate, this is very linked to the parasympathetic nervous system. So very important because it impacts on inflammation in the body, stress levels. So these are all, especially the stress level, because of a low vagal tone. You might just have your fight and flight response, the sympathetic nervous system, switch on too much or pretty much constantly, because we have a lot of things in our lives, the way we live, that just keeps stressing us. Sometimes it's become so much of a norm that we don't even realize that we might be stressed, and that's often a big component in chronic back issues. So that's one thing. And one thing that I don't often mention, but we actually do practice it, and today we'll go for a little bit longer, since this nerve goes in through the neck. There's a link with the vocal cords. So any singing, chanting is very good to help what we call tone the vagus nerve, which is called vagal tone. So to increase the vagal tone is very good for the function of the heart, which helps to activate the sympathetic nervous system. So we'll be going into that for a moment. But for now, you can breathe in through the nose in the Ujjayi breath. So this is the ocean breath where you have a slight constriction into the back of the throat so that you can feel the air coming through the throat, little friction to create heat, create noise, and see if you can start breathing really deep all the way down. So the breath that is probably for more beginners, probably you're not too familiar with it. And most important in regards to activating the parasympathetic nervous system is to breathe all the way down to the belly. So if you remember when you were a baby, or if you have babies, they don't care so much about all these mental constructs and social and cultural conditioning that you need to be all slim and watch your looks. They don't care so much. They just breathe in their belly and they let their belly puff out. This is the most helpful breath. And then as you exhale, navel in towards the spine. So really use your abdomen. And I invite you to do this breath maybe 3 times a day to help you reset your breathing pattern, behavioral patterns, mental patterns. So really just relaxing completely so that you can let that belly go out as you inhale. And as you exhale, belly goes in. So not breathing up into your chest, which is called like email breathing. You might catch yourself when you read texts or emails. Maybe sometimes you hold your breath, reading maybe for additional information, and you hold your breath up in the chest. Not very good. You keep switching the fight or flight response, sympathetic nervous system. Whereas when you breathe in your abdomen, nice, slow, soft, deep breathing, it's very relaxing. So you switch again this parasympathetic nervous system, and it's not just at night. This is important to have a balance within ourselves, within our energies, to activate the sympathetic nervous system. We'll do that with our traditional Surya Namaskars, but also activate the parasympathetic nervous system so we have a balance in the energies. So a few more breaths down into your belly. So this is preparing us for our Om chant, for which you're going to try to breathe again all the way down to the belly. And then as you exhale, see if you can get the energy to rise up from the belly, and see if you can really focus today at getting the vibration up into the chest and more so into the throat. So really vibrating the vocal cords so that you can tone the vagus nerve. We're going for quite a few rounds today. Maybe just 5. We'll see how we go. So exhaling the air out the nostrils, emptying the lungs. You take a deep inhale in through the nose. Last round. Keeping your eyes closed for a moment. As you let the breath relax, you can come back to your Ujjayi breath in through the nose, into the back of the throat, and let it be as deep as possible into your abdomen, letting the abdomen puff out, all the way back out, navel in, through the throat, little noise, little hit out the nose. See if you can keep this breath going throughout the practice today. Again, trying to keep the breath deep in the abdomen. Nice and slow, opening your eyes. And we'll come to stand as usual for a warm-up, traditional Surya Namaskar. So we'll get straight into it today. We spend a bit of time in the intro and the Om chant. So again, making sure that you keep the breath slow, soft and deep with your Ujjayi breathing as much as possible into your abdomen. You can let that puff out as you go through your different practices. You might have some compression in some asanas, but just try to really focus on the movement of the navel. This can still work if you really focus on relaxing all the rest. So we'll start top of the mat, feet together. So if you're new to it, we'll go nice and easy on the first few rounds so that you can get the gist of it. But I'll start chanting the Bija mantra straight away. We'll do a few rounds, paying attention to the alignment at the start, doing only what you can, especially if you've got back issues. And again, breath is most important. So at the start, we're not going too deep into any of the asanas. So just check it out, just feel in the body, and make sure you don't compromise for the breath. If you feel you can't really breathe deep into your belly and slow, you're short of breath, more so up in the chest, that probably means you're trying to stretch a bit too hard, so back off. There's no need to go all the way. First few rounds are going to be easy. If you feel this is enough, you just keep repeating that. Otherwise, for those who are more used to it, we'll build up onto it. So pressing your feet into the earth, shoulders relaxed, standing tall in Tadasana. You can bring your hands in prayer position in front of your heart. And I'll start chanting the Bija mantra. Om Mitraya Namaha. Nice and slow as you inhale. In through the nose, stretching your arms up, looking up. So if you have neck issues, maybe not looking up or just watching your neck, doing it what you can, opening your arms as you exhale, nice and slow, keeping your arms parallel in line with your body, stretching your crown over the head, fingertips forward, back is flat as much as possible, bending into the knees as much as needed. You fold all the way down, fingertips to the floor, and as you inhale, stepping your left leg back, so far back as much as you can. Nice big step, dropping your back knee, you relax your toes, so very important to get the leg nice and relaxed. And then you look up if you can. So looking up is very important. We push the hips down to stretch the hip flexor, hamstring. So hip flexor has a lot to do with back pain, keeping the back flat, slight compression into the neck. We start working on the nervous system. And then nice and slow, releasing, looking down, planting your hands, tucking your back toes as you exhale, stretching back, chaturanga. So chaturanga is the plank position, shoulders over your wrists. And we move on the exhale into Ashtanga, dropping the knees down, arching into your lower back. You start bending into the elbows, but keep the elbows back so that you can protract your shoulders, and you start leaning your weight forward onto your shoulders so that you bring your chest, forehead or chin for a start to the floor. Stomach doesn't touch, releasing all the way down onto your belly. You point your toes, hands shouldn't be moving, and as you inhale, using your back muscles, you can lift your heart, nice and gentle, mindful, release as you exhale, tucking your toes under, pushing on your hands, stretching your hips back and up Adho Mukha Svanasana, your down dog. Maybe soft bend into your knees at the start. And then slowly as you inhale, looking forward, stepping your left foot forward right between your hands. So you're going to be using your core. Maybe you need to help with your foot, or the technique is to grip the mat with the toes. Always funny. This is quite important actually, so that you bring your front knee 90-degree angle. So knees right under the armpit, between foot between your hands. And again, you look up. Looking up is very important. We start stretching into the groin, working on the spine. As you exhale, you release, looking down, stepping forward. Soft bend into your knees, keeping your head, shoulders nice and relaxed. As you inhale, you start rolling your spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling into each vertebrae, discs coming all the way up. Head comes last, reaching your arms all the way up, palms together. And as you exhale, you release this experience back down to your heart. And we keep going, nice and slow. Om Mitraya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward, nice and easy. Still bending into your knees. If you have lower back issues, you feel you're not warm yet, inhaling, right leg back this time. Drop your knee, point your toes. If you feel ready, you can go further, maybe hands flat on the floor, looking up. Tuck your back toes, release, looking down, stretching back as you exhale, chaturanga, and then moving your knees, chest, forehead as you continue exhaling. Slow, soft, deep breath, releasing all the way down, point your toes, inhale, lift your heart. Maybe you can start lifting a little bit higher, still maybe with a soft bend into your elbows. Maybe you can start looking up, so we stretch into the neck, working on the vagal tone. Slowly as you exhale, you release, tuck your toes, stretching back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, your down dog. Inhaling, stepping your right foot forward, so we keep switching legs to keep the brain alert. Maybe hands flat, looking up. Exhale, you release, stepping forward. Slowly inhaling, rising all the way up, palms together. Exhale. Om Surya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale, stretching the spine, bending into the knees. Inhaling, left leg back. Again, we keep switching legs. Look up, rolling your eyes upwards. Exhale, chaturanga, plank position, knees, chest, forehead, keeping the elbows in close to the body, releasing all the way down onto your abdomen, point your toes. Inhale, maybe this time you can start moving into your full Bhujangasana, straightening your elbows, relax into the shoulders, look up. Exhale, you release, tuck your toes, stretch back. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Exhale. Inhale. Om Pushnaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Right leg back. Look up. Exhale. Stretch back. Chaturanga. Exhale into Ashtanga. Knees, chest, forehead if you can. Releasing all the way down. You scoop up into your Bhujangasana. Look up, roll your eyes upwards. Back is relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, maybe stretching back straight away into your down dog using your core muscles. Inhale, left leg forward, look up. Exhale. Inhale. Om Hinadgarbhaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Left leg back. Inhale. Stretch back. Exhale. Inhale, scooping up. Exhale. Inhale. Narichaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So we keep switching legs. Right leg. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om Madhyaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Deep breath into the abdomen. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep going at your own pace, or maybe following us. Om Savitraya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om Kagaya Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om Bhaskara Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Rising all the way up. Maybe closing your eyes if you haven't already. Slowly releasing your namaskar through your heart, arms by your side, palms facing forward. And you focus on your heart rate, the breath, slowing down. If you have a good balance, you can keep your eyes closed and you come down on your back for shavāsana, relaxing completely for a moment. Just focus, notice the breath, the heart rate slowing down, relaxing the whole body. So we've been working on the vagus nerve, which we'll continue to do, the asanas. So quite important. This nerve is the connection between the brain and the body. But not only that, this is a two-way high street, this big nerve. It is also the communication between the body and the mind. So see if you can really feel your body as you relax. Taking a moment to listen. We often don't take the time to stop and actually listen. Because often disease or any conditions, you have little signs. Your body is always talking to you, or at least trying. But maybe sometimes we don't listen because we're too busy, a little bit decorrelated, also disconnected to our feelings, emotions. If we have maybe trained ourselves and our society suddenly trains us to suppress, you need to keep going, drugs that actually numbs you. So very important, these practices where we come on a mat for a little practice, for a reconnection time, to learn to listen again. As always, listen to your body. Anytime you feel this is too much, you can stop. Nice and slow, we're gonna start. So first one, easy as usual, you can keep your eyes closed. Ardha Chakrasana, so you can bring your feet hip width distance apart with your heels close to your buttocks as you bend into your knees. Bringing your arms by your side, palms facing down. Exhale your breath, and as you inhale, you lift your hips, arching into your spine. So see if you can lift your hips as much as possible, pressing your heels into the floor, so working the thighs to parallel the floor, stretching into the quads. If you can go further, you can interlace your fingers under your lower back, rolling your shoulders under. And see if you can press your knuckles forward, pressing your pinky fingers on the floor, elbows, shoulders, and you keep lifting your hips a little bit more, so activating your glutes. So you should be feeling a push into the back of the heart, feeling the stretch into the whole front of the body, quite possibly feeling a pressure from your chest into your throat. So again, we're compressing the throat. This is good for the vagal tone. We're also working on the thyroid gland in the throat, activating the metabolism. Very good for the immune system. This is a great pose. It works on the spine. Very good for back issues. So the slight compression in the discs between the vertebrae helps to regenerate, activate, increase the blood circulation to bring nutrients. So we're there for one more breath, still breathing deeply into your Ujjayi breath. And then very slowly as you exhale, you can release the grip of your hands and you start rolling your spine down very slowly, mindfully, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then you can bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a good hug, stretching the lower back, maybe gently pressing your knees towards your chest, releasing, flattening the lower back, maybe doing that a few times, little rocks. So feel that into your lower back. Maybe then rocking side to side, so you feel more pressure onto your hip, right side, left side, little massage. It's always good. Nice and slow. We're gonna come into a twist, extending your left leg out, releasing your right foot on the floor, and you're gonna extend your arms out in T-shaped position for a good balance. Lifting your left hip, you can shift your left leg, left hip slightly to the center. You release slightly onto your left side. Inhaling, right knee to your chest. You get hold of it with your left hand. Nice and slow as you exhale. You can come into a twist without pulling onto your knee. So making sure that your shoulder blades are plugged into the floor and you use gravity, just the weight of the hand on the outside of the knee, so that you feel that you're using the breath more than the pull, using gravity, just a little bit of weight, keeping your left leg active with the toes pointed forward. So you've got a nice long line of energy from your left toes through your hip, spine, all the way to the crown of the head, lengthening as you inhale, and as you exhale, you soften into your twist, maybe turning your head opposite to your knee for a deeper twist, so you should be feeling that stretch across the chest, the front of the body, from your shoulder, through the heart, navel, breathing deeply still into your belly as much as possible. And as you exhale, navel in towards the spine, you might notice that it helps to relax the belly, the hips, deepening the twists, but again, only going as far as comfortable for your own body. Very slowly, inhaling, you start returning to center, marking a pause before you come back to full center to let the nerves in the lower back readjust. And then you release, you can readjust your hips, extending your leg out, taking a deep breath into your abdomen, still going with your Ujjayi breath. Exhale, soften. Inhaling both knees into your chest. Again, hands onto your knees. You can stretch the lower back. Extend your right leg. We take the other side. So release your left foot on the floor. Lift your hips. Shift it slightly to center. You release. Arms in T-shaped position. Inhaling left knee to your chest. And as you exhale, just keeping your hand on the outside of the knee. This is more so of a guide instead of just really pulling. Again, right leg is nice and active. The whole body is straight as much as possible. Right leg, spine on the axis of the mat. Turning your head opposite to your knee. And you keep breathing deep into your abdomen. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Noticing how you can relax maybe a little bit more in the shoulders, hips, every exhale. Few breaths here. Very good for the nervous system. Stretching all the nerves in the spine. Couple more breaths. Very slowly, as you inhale, coming back to center, marking a little pause before you realign, extending your legs out, taking a deep breath in, belly up, belly in, exhaling. Inhaling, knees to chest, and you can roll over on one side to come onto your all fours. So we're gonna work on again the vagus nerve. So just coming onto your abdomen. You can keep your feet separated mat distance apart. The wider, the easier on the lower back. We're going for Bhujangasana, so you can bring your hands palms flat under your shoulders, and the further you go from your shoulders closer to your hips, the harder it's going to become. So choose what works for you. Shoulders should be nice and relaxed, so you try to bring your shoulders down away from your ears, so shoulder blades towards your hips. Exhale your breath, trying to keep your lower back nice and relaxed. And as you inhale, you use your back muscles to start off with. So really working on the core muscles, the core that is at the back. So how do you know you use your back muscles? Yes, you lift your hands, keep smiling, keep lifting the chest, nice and slow. You release, hands on the floor, and you push on your hands so that you lift up a little bit more. So again, your lower back should be nice and relaxed, maybe going all the way to straightening your arms. And again, you want to relax your shoulders away from your ears, so you don't want to be up here with your shoulders up your ears. You really want to lengthen into the front of the body. Relax those shoulder blades down, and working on the vagal tone, we look up. So we're stretching into the whole front of the body, especially the throat, glutes, lower back is relaxed. We're there for a few breaths. anytime you feel this is too much, especially if there is sharp pain, pinching in the lower back, very slowly you can start to release. Otherwise, we've got 2 more breaths. In through the nose, into the back of the throat. And see if you can get it all the way down to your abdomen. On your next exhale, very slowly looking forward, you can start to release, bending into your elbows, rolling your spine down, vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. And then you can push onto your hands, stretching your hips back, toes to touch. Balasana, knees out wide, stretching the whole spine. See if you can keep reaching your fingers forward so that you really lengthen into the whole spine. Hips touching your heels as much as possible, tailbone back. Deep breath into your belly, expanding into the lower back, the kidneys. Exhaling to soften. One more breath. Nice and slow. Lifting your head up, walking your hands back slightly, coming back forward onto your all fours, knees together. And you can step your left leg forward. So just like we did before, pretty much a low lunge, but this time coming onto your knee with your hands, back leg is completely relaxed. So you're really wanting to stretch into the hip flexor on the right side here as you gently, very gently push your hands back, shoulders back, so that you feel a bit more stretch into the front of the hip, going up into the abdomen. So the psoas attaches into the spine. So this is often a muscle that is a bit tight because we sit too much. And this is very good to stretch it to release tension in the lower spine. And maybe going further, if you can start to look up, arching into the spine, maybe a little bit more. So again, stretching into the neck. Here we help with the activation of the vagus nerve. If you have no neck issues, obviously, if you have neck issues, you want to be quite careful in reaching back with your head, looking up. So this accentuates the stretch of the hip flexor as well. We've got one more breath. And then slowly looking forward, releasing your hands, stretching your left leg back. Maybe taking one cat and cow, inhaling, looking up, arching into the spine. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under. So this helps to release the pressure into the front leg, and we take the other side, right leg forward. So again, you can maybe use your toes to move your knee to a 90-degree angle, coming up, hands onto your knee. And you want to let your hips drop down as much as possible, bringing your shoulders back so spine is nice and straight as you gently start pushing your hands onto your knee. Deep breath in through the nose into your abdomen. Maybe you can start to go a little bit further, looking up. See if you can start arching a little bit into your spine. One more breath. And then slowly coming back. You can stretch your leg back and then coming to sit onto your knees. Hips onto your heels. Palms facing upwards. Close your eyes and just feel in the body. And there is one more technique that I'd like to go through. Very important in these challenging times. So this is the humming. So the humming really helps to increase the release of nitric oxide. This is a gas that is naturally produced in the body, which really helps to boost the immune system. And also, again, just like the Om chanting, because we work more so on the vocal cords, it helps to increase the vagal tone. So we'll just do 3 rounds. So for the humming, we work with the breath also. So we take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to your abdomen, and then keeping your mouth closed, you're going to do this humming sound, just like in India they call it, it's the sound of the black bee. So really vibrating into your head with your mouth closed, just like so. And you do so on your full exhale. Taking a deep inhale, and maybe going further, you can plug your ears with your index fingers or maybe your palms, and you chant, noticing how this increases the vibration in your throat. We've got one more round. Keeping your eyes closed, gently relaxing your hands on your lap. Notice maybe the tingling in your mouth, temples, cheeks, the feelings in your neck, throat. Keeping the eyes closed, keeping that sense of relaxation that this humming brings about. You can slowly come onto your back for our final shavāsana, relaxing completely, slowly coming onto your back again, trying not to disturb the energies, the feelings from the humming, and you just relax and feel. Again, listening, maybe working a bit more on the body-mind connection, as the mind-body connection often is unconscious, autonomous. Your brain doesn't let your organs down too much. That usually works. Not always optimally, but it works. It's probably more that we don't listen to what the body, the organs, the signals they send. So now that you rest for a few minutes, is a good time to listen, focus on the sensations, any sensations, feelings throughout the whole body.